Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, if there is someone who has stayed with Raila Odinga beyond political survival, then if counted, Kalonzo Musyoka will be among those people. Kalonzo chose to stay with Raila Odinga even at a time when Raila was pushed to have other options as a running mate. 2022, Kalonzo was stronger than Mother Karua, but Mother Karua, through Uhuru Kenyatta, was made Raila Odinga's running mate. Kalonzo stayed. Remember, Mudavadi went to negotiation with William Ruto. At that time, Kalonzo had a stronger party than Musalia Mudavadi's party. But Kalonzo did not choose to go there. If he went there, he would be more stronger than Mudavadi and he would have been given first priority. He chose to stay with Raila Odinga. That's why I said beyond political survival, he was there. So Kalonzo Musyoka yesterday decided to go and visit Raila Odinga's grave and just have time with the family after the burial, because during the burial there was not enough time. And he really went with a huge herd of cattle to that family. So there was conversation. ODM leaders were there, Raila Odinga family, they were there. Ruth Odinga said something that would send William Ruto back to drawing board. ODM support is not automatic. There was some kind of renewal between ODM and Kalonzo Musyoka. She narrated the story about why Raila Odinga always chose to work with Kalonzo Musyoka anytime he go to war. He knew that Kalonzo is a warrior that can stand with him. So Ruth Odinga is assuring Kalonzo Musyoka, you will not be alone in this path. She has gone further to talk about the issue of Azimio, that I know Azimio haijavunjwa bado. Azimio iko. You see where she's heading to? So she has gone on and on talk about ODM not being a cash cow. This has a reason. We are heading to an election and Kalonzo is here.
And for me, as I sit here, I keep on saying, His Excellency, I know the loss you've gone through. That was one of your best friends. And the two of you really looked after Kenya. You know, you can only be a warrior and you choose only a warrior to go with to war. Why Raila Odinga used to go all the time to war with Kalonzo? It's because he knew he's a warrior he can go with to war. And I know it's a lonely path, but don't worry. There will be a warrior who's going to come out. You will not be alone in this journey to ensure that Kenya continues. For me, I know, you know, even Azimio haijavunjwa, ama mlivunja, ongea, wewe ni lawyer, gani? Treasurer, Azimio, bado iko. But I want to talk that as you even have the Azimio as it was, as you have Wiper as a party, you can see Wiper being strong. I can assure you as Kenyans that ODM will remain strong, ODM will remain united, and ODM will remain one. And I can tell you that ODM is going to any negotiation table as a strong, one, united ODM. We will not allow ourselves to be weakened. This is a party like the party of the Kenya People's Union, which was started by Oginga Odinga, which was a party for the people, of the people, and by the people. And so that is the same tenet of which we have ODM. party for the people. And because it's not a cash party. Huwezi kununua watu tu juu na chini na nini. ODM is not a cash party. ODM ni party ya watu. And we will take it back to the people and let the people decide. But the people are going to decide, and I can hear the wave coming. They are deciding that ODM inabaki na iko huku na ODM will go. Come 2027 tutaona vile tutafanya, lakini tutaingia kwa any negotiation, any election where we're having a strong ODM. Asanteni, Mungu awabariki.
Now, what many understand is that it was going to be automatic that Ruto will work with the ODM after Raila Odinga passing on, due to the relation they have had and the way he treated the family. But it seems somehow ODM might be taking a U-turn. Why? That is the big question we are asking on this Punchline, and a discussion I would want us to have. But before we go into this discussion, I have a quick and humble request. For those who are watching this channel and you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing. To our returning subscribers, I must say thank you so much. And again, to all our viewers, please give this video a thumbs up. A big shout out to each and everyone who has joined our channel membership. Thank you so much for supporting our program. And let us go back to our discussion. Now, Ruth Odinga's statement does not mean that ODM has just finally decided that they are going to work with Kalonzo Musyoka. It actually means that ODM is open to work with anyone as long as they agree through the negotiation. So it is not automatic it will work with Kalonzo. It is not automatic it will work with William Ruto. That's why you see even he's going to invoke the memories of Azimio. Ukweli Azimio technically haijavunjwa, si ndio? Kisheria bado. Though the other team was into some arrangement in the broad-based. ODM has realized one thing. In case they keep quiet and Ruto assumes that they are going to support him automatically, they might not have a proper chance to negotiate for what they want on the table. ODM is realizing that, and I heard this one also from Ruth Odinga, they cannot go for anything short of a running mate. The lowest they will go for is a running mate. Remember, they have always produced a presidential candidate, and in many ways, in many of those elections, there is belief that this candidate has been winning, but they have never tested power. So this time around, they cannot just go down without even asking for a running mate. Kindiki ako kule. So there is a discussion here that leaves William Ruto in a huge dilemma. On one side, Rigathi Gachagua is fronting Kalonzo Musyoka. Lakini amesema anataka 50%, sijui vile itafanya, lakini hapo. Then, with that, ODM is saying they are open to Kalonzo also. That means they can still make a decision to go on with the package of Rigathi, Kalonzo, wasonge pale, akina Eugene wako pale. But they will demand for a running mate. Gachagua can be tempted kuambia kujeni na wapewe running mate, because his major aim is to send William Ruto home. So Ruto is left in this dilemma. Should I drop Kithure Kindiki and forget about Mount Kenya in case there were some votes I could manage to get in order to give a chance to ODM so that I maintain them, or what should I do? That's why we said at the time Raila Odinga died, Ruto was sent back to the drawing board. With Raila, Ruto was assured that indeed through Baba, they can negotiate otherwise and have Western region and Luo Nyanza package ikiwa hapo. Saizi mambo ni tofauti. Then you have to maintain the Mulembe nation. That means you can't go anything short of removing Mudavadi from his position and thinking that Luyas will vote for you. The lowest he can come is to maintain the prime cabinet secretary position. That one, kuna kura za Waluya utapata. So that dilemma is there. So it is either we make a decision to have a chance for ODM, and by the way, ODM is coming with more than 8 MPs. That's big, eh? So it's something you have to consider. So ODM have looked at the issue and they have decided that they will go back and re-strategize, then push for the agenda so that whoever is serious to work with them, he will give them what they want. And I can tell you, ODM will not go for anything short of a running mate. Hiyo ndio kitu wako nayo kwa akili. Not prime CS, running mate. If Ruto will make a joke to allow them to go, then they join Kalonzo and the package we've talked about. I don't see him surviving politically. Hata kwa kuiba kura itakuwa ngumu. Sasa zingine unaweza iba kura mpaka ijulikane kweli umeiba tu, kama ile ya NASA, ile ya 2007, 2008. Those who remember. I don't know this, but please let us put in the comment section so that we can continue with this Punchline discussion. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening to me up to this far, and see you in our next video.